Hello everyone, Mary Janet here from Tunes and Wooden Spoons, and today we will be making multigrain bread, and our entertainment is going to be Rodney MacDonald and Andrea Beaton.
Grandma's Kitchen.
There's a fiddle tune and a wooden spoon while she's stirring and a-singing. There's friends leaving or family land, and then the phone's usually ringing. No matter who you are or what you've done, everything's forgiven.
Thank God. Thank God.
Thank
God. Grandma's Kitchen.
And ain't it good to be in Grandma's kitchen?
Grandma's Kitchen.
Hello everybody, Mary Janet here from Tunes and Wooden Spoons, and yes, I got my hair chopped, and I love it, and it's just freeing when you do that. But anyway, I just wanted to say a big hello, and I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I hope you had a wonderful week. And this past week, we've had great weather here, and today is absolutely brilliant sunshine, and it was 0 degrees when I was coming home from church this morning, but I know it's plus that now. And isn't that crazy? What a winter that we're having. So I know we have a lot to do today, and we are going to have some entertainment in the next segment. After our bread rises the hour, I won't be online with you, so we'll do 2 segments today. And I'm so excited. It's going to be Rodney MacDonald on fiddle and his cousin, his first cousin, Andrea Beaton, who has been here before playing the fiddle. Well, today she's going to be accompanying him as well. So isn't that a great thing? Great to have fiddle. And of course, that opening fiddle tune was Natalie McMaster, my niece, who is just a superstar. And that beautiful song or tune that she played was called If Ever You Were Mine. And I don't know, it makes you kind of lonesome in some ways for those you can't be with, whether they're here or whether they're somewhere else, and you miss them. So I want to say a special hi to Tammy and Margie and Gordy out in Alberta, and I miss you all. And today, of course, I see Mitchell all the time, and the other 3, I'm going to Halifax tomorrow for 6 days to spend a couple of days with each one of them. So my heart is full, and I will be happy to see them, but I do miss the ones from the West. So there you have it. So right now, there is somebody very, very special that I want to say hello to. And her name is Heather McGilvery. Hi, Heather. Heather lives in Jubilee House at L'Arche in Antigonish, and I'm told that she watches the show now and again. And I hope you're having a wonderful day, Heather. And I am going to see you. I'm going to go see you. In the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be dropping by to see you and say a special hello to you. And so thankful to you for tuning in and enjoying the show. And I hope you bake, or I hope that those who are with you at L'Arche Antigonish are good bakers, and they give you some cookies or bread every now and again, and that you would love them. So hi, Heather, and thank you for being you, and bringing lots of joy, I guess, to lots of people. So thank you for watching. So I'm going to get right into this. So I hope all of you have done if you're baking with me today, you've already seen my direction to have your grains soaked. So 1 cup of your grains. We'll talk about the grains as we go along, because there have been so many people wondering where I'm going to get these grains. And so what, about 20 minutes ago, I put 4 cups of boiling water in my grains, and my grains are here, and they're, I don't think you can see that very well, but I'll be turning the camera down so you'll see that. And so they're expanding a bit, some of my grains there, and we'll chat more about the grains as we go along. So I'm going to go wash my hands and I'll be right back with you. So that music that was playing, of course, that's my favorite CD, as you know, the Airs and Waltzes, and the title of course, is Falche, F-A-I-L-T-E, and it's a CD that I play all the time, but actually I've downloaded it as well onto my computer from iTunes, so I can play it at any time. And it's got cuts on it from all of the fiddlers that are from around here, and off there, it's a compilation CD of all of their fiddle tunes that they've already recorded, and they've given permission to the Celtic Music Interpretive Center in neighboring Judic to put that compilation of airs and waltzes from each one onto that CD. I just love it, and I know a lot of you have already ordered it or downloaded it as well. So the very first thing now, what we have left to do, once you've put your 4 cups of boiling water on your 1 cup of grains, we're just going to set that aside, and I am going to set my yeast, okay? So I'm going to bring you over here. Heather is my first cousin, and she loves a good cup of tea. Donna McNeil. Well, there you go. I love it. I love it. Okay, hold on a second. Okay. There, that's better. So what I'm going to do, I am going to put 1 cup of lukewarm water in here and 1 teaspoon of sugar. And because I'm using active dry yeast, this is the kind of yeast that I like to use. Traditional active dry yeast, Fleischmann's. And for those of you using quick rise yeast, you don't have to do this part. You're going to be putting your yeast, the same equivalents, 4.5 teaspoons of your quick rise yeast, right into your dry ingredients, the flour that we will be using. So for now, I am going to, I'll be talking more about that a little bit later on, but for now, I'm going to set my yeast. So I'm going to get a cup of warm water. And the lukewarm water, I mean, if you have an instant thermometer, like I have a Pampered Chef one, and you just put this in the water, and if it's at 105 to, I think it's 115, I wrote it on the recipe, that's ideal for the growth of the yeast. But you don't have to do that. If you're a baker and you know how warm it is for a baby's bottle, that's all we're looking for. So 1 cup of lukewarm water. So into this 1 cup of lukewarm water, you can put 1 teaspoon of sugar. And just stir that around until you can feel that the sugar has dissolved. This is such an easy recipe. Do not be afraid to try this if you're a beginner bread maker or a beginner baker. If you just follow the steps like this, you will be surprised at your success. I'm serious. Now your yeast, 4.5 teaspoons. 4.5. And 4.5 is the equivalent of if you're working with envelopes of yeast, 2 envelopes of yeast, whether it's quick or if it's the active dry. Okay, I'm just going to put this over on the counter and I'm going to set it for 10 minutes and then we'll have a chat. Okay, I'm just checking the recipe here now that I gave you. All right, we'll do the rest in a minute. Okay. So I wanted to talk about the grains. I know a lot of people have been having trouble finding the grains. So whenever I'm in Halifax, which I'll be going there this week to the bulk barn, I'll be getting the grains. And I'm just gonna show you the kind that I buy. Grains are grains. Some include rolled oats. It just depends. So the ones I have don't include rolled oats, but grains are grains. So any amount of grains. So this is my bulk barn. Can you see that seed mixture? I'll put some in my hand. It's hard to see, but it's a mixture. Oh my gosh, I can't even do this. Can you see that? It's just a fine mixture of like barley, flaxseed, and there could be millet in there as well. It tells you right on the little where it says what it is, it'll tell you the grains that are in it. And I'll be getting some more next week, but I always stock up on that. I don't buy too much. You don't want too much of it lying around. But what makes multigrain bread? Any grains, like 3 or more. So you or the Red River cereal. I don't know what's in Red River cereal. There's got to be 5 or 6 different kinds of grains in that, and that's fine. So there was a lot of people posted pictures I was noticing today, and they're all great choices. Or you could buy your own grains individually. The post that I made last night, I think, addressed that. Like flax seeds, like I have my flax seed. Just the seeds themselves, not the ground flax seed. You want the fiber coming into that. So if you have flaxseed, if you have barley, if you have rolled oats, there's 3 grains. That's all you need. And I thought it would be easy to get the Bob's Red Mill, or how is it? Bob's Red Mill 5 grain at least. And I know, I live in Port Hood, and there's maybe 1,000 people that live here and in our surrounding area, and our Port Hood Co-op carries a whole bunch of the Red Mill's products, and one of them is the 5 grain. So I really thought that for the majority of you, you'd have an easy time finding it. They don't carry the Red River cereal. Apparently, it's really hard to find. But I just want you to know that multigrain bread is any combination of those grains. Doesn't have to be the same as what I got at the bulk barn. You use what you have. And people had lots of great suggestions there. So anyway, I'm just going to test I'll let you look at my grain mixture here so you can see what it looks like. It's cooling. Yes, you can use your mixer with a dough hook. Barbara Pritchard, why not? So there's mine. And this softens up those small grains, the boiling water, where it was once really, hard when it went in, and now it's softened up quite a bit. All right. So So there now. Section. Somebody said in the vegan section off the grocery store. I had suggested that multiple times on responding to people where I have found the Bob's Red Mill for our little co-op store. We have a small section in one of the aisles that is for organic, gluten-free, natural foods, and that's where you find it. So I know that there are in the larger grocery stores, if you're from a larger center, that you would find it in there. You know, you'll get some of those grains and the Bob Mills ones there. And the Red River cereal, I can't tell you about that, but you know, to me, I think you would find it, you know, at Sobeys Superstore in the section that has like cream of wheat for making porridge, or the rolled oats or the quick oats. I think it would be in that section. So anyway, if you haven't tried looking for it, I guess that's where you would find it. But anyway, I really wish you all good luck, because this bread, where the time that I made the porridge bread is so delicious, and you know, it has that molasses sweet flavor, and it's very soft and airy, and it's just it's so good. It's a great smelling one. This one is a denser bread, lots of fiber in it. Really, we you know, I made some earlier this week, and we love it because great for making a sandwich, you know, great toasted. It's really good toasted, and it freezes really well too. So I like to, you know, once it's at room temperature, I put it in a freezer bag, and I put it in the freezer and take it out the night before I want to use it, and it's just fine. Anyway, okay, back to what we're doing here, okay? I'm just going to give that a little stir. So that yeast, it's got about 4 minutes left. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to just measure out the flour. And for those who are using the quick rise yeast and not proofing your yeast like we are here, using the active dry, the cup of lukewarm water and the teaspoon of sugar, I would add that now to your grain mixture that's mixed with the 4 cups of water. Add it there. And now I'm going to prepare my dry ingredients, my flour, which I am going to add 9 cups to my bowl here, okay? Oh, I missed that message. I better stop reading and just focus on this. Okay, I'm going to put the camera down so you can see this again. All right. So 9 cups of all-purpose flour. And that makes 9. Anybody who wants to mix some whole wheat flour in, you know, take a, you know, half and half, you go for that. That's fine. I'm just using all white purpose flour, okay? All purpose flour. And, okay, so there's your 9 cups of flour. And I wanted to say something else. Feel your flour. I don't know if it's winter time where you are. Sometimes your flour, even though it's in the cupboard, can be cold. And what I like to do, I just love to be kind to my yeast and to my batter that I'm making with her bread. If you find that the temperature of your flour is quite cool to the touch, put the whole bowl in the microwave for 1 minute, and it'll be nice and cozy, warm. And you're just kind of being, I like to think that they're friends. The flour and the yeast. You want to keep the yeast happy. So my flour is just fine because it hasn't been very cold here, but sometimes if it's sitting in a cupboard or in the bottom of a closet, your flour bag or your flour container, it can be cold. But it doesn't hurt to microwave it for a minute, and it makes it nice and cozy warm. Okay, there's my yeast ready, but I'm just putting this flour aside. The 9 cups are here. And so in that 9 cups of flour, those of you who are using the quick rise yeast, put your 4½ teaspoons of yeast in there and give it a stir, okay? And I'm going to take my my bowl, and it's nice and lukewarm, my grains and my water. I'm just going to turn off my timer, but I'll get the yeast in a minute. See the nice, it's all nice and ready, okay? I'm just going to set that aside for a minute, and I'm going to add the other ingredients to my grains, all right? All right. So this is just all beautiful. You're going to add to this 2 tablespoons of oil. Could be canola oil, can be olive oil, it can be vegetable oil. What am I using today? I'm using canola oil. And this is a 2 tablespoon measure. So I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of canola oil. And you're going to add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. And the original recipe didn't call for molasses, but I'm just putting in just a hit of molasses, 2 tablespoons, just to give it a little hint. Some follower thought I was making porridge bread, but no, porridge bread, oh God, I love that recipe that we made on the show. I've been making that for a long, long time, and it is such an awesome, I think everybody that has tried it, who is a follower, has had great success with it. So I'm really happy about that. But this one is not porridge bread. It is a multigrain loaf bread, and this makes 3 loaves. And I think we have some salt, don't we? Let me see. And 3 teaspoons of salt. Okay. Just your regular table salt. It sounds like a lot, but really you need the salt, or else it honestly tastes blah. Okay, just give that a stir. And now you're going to add your yeast mixture. And a good wooden spoon is perfect for the job. Just give that a good mix. Okay, now you're going to be adding the flour. I think I said a couple of cups at a time. Yeah. Just a minute. Now that's loosely, I just said a couple of cups. Don't measure exactly, just put a couple of heaping cups. As somebody just earlier there caught that message where, can you use the dough hook off your mixer there? You certainly can. I went out and I bought myself one of those gadgets. I have yet to use it for bread, but I have used it for cake. We had a couple of birthday celebrations. Cecil had his 71st birthday on the 28th of January. So he doesn't really care for cake. He'd rather I make him a dessert, but because we were having Mitchell and the kids over, I made chocolate cupcakes. I actually used the decadent chocolate cake recipe that we've made before and just made cupcakes out of it. I halved the recipe. And also, my grandson Ivor's other grandparents were over from Reserve Mines this weekend. Ivor's birthday, he'll be 6 on the 8th of February. And so we made a rainbow white cake for him. That was fun. There we go. So I'm just adding it randomly here, a couple at a time, stirring until I feel that it would be not so wet that you couldn't put it out on your work surface or your counter, whatever you're using, or your baking mat. But no, I haven't used that machine. And I really don't think I'll use it on the show. I want to show you, or anybody who's beginning, who doesn't have those gadgets, that it is possible to make it by hand without having those things. And that's how the people that came before us, how they made it. So although I enjoyed making the cakes in it, it was really, really nice. Okay, I'm going to add maybe 1 more cup. You'll use every bit of this flour and no more than this flour. We'll just put all the flour out on the work surface here when we're ready, and we're just about at that point. And I think I'm going to put it out on the counter now. So I'm going to empty all the flour up and just out on the baking sheet, and just sprinkle some underneath. Leave this off to the side. Remember how I clean my bowl from the cinnamon rolls? Like, you sprinkle it with flour and rub that out. I'll be doing that because this is the same bowl I'll be using to let my bread raise. And I'm going to be skipping a part of the recipe, which you can do if you like, but it's really not necessary. But I'll tell you about that in a minute. Okay, that's still sticky. You don't want it to be sticky. You sprinkle flour on it and work it in just with the tips of your fingers. And this is the way I do it. I don't know if this is the right way to do it, but it works for me. And I feel it's just the same as kneading, and because it's too sticky for me to knead when it's still got some stickiness to it. So this is the way I've always made my bread since I began. And I work in that excess flour until it's not sticky, and then it's ready to knead. I'm going to fold that over, and you can see it's sticky there. I'm going to sprinkle some water, some flour. It's just about ready to knead. Okay. So we're going to start kneading now. Anywhere where there's any, wetness, just do that. So, in case there's any beginners out there, and this is your first time making bread, make sure that there's no stickiness. Add the flour as you need it, but you're going to fold your dough over, and you're going to put your two hands like this, and you're going to push forward, just like you were massaging the bread with the heels of your hand. And if it's sticky, which mine is a little bit, just do it until you can handle it without it being sticky. Turn the whole thing around and fold it over, okay? And massage. You're going to add the flour as you go along until you use every morsel of the flour that's on your surface. Sprinkle under and over. So back to the step that I say we're going to skip, okay? If you have time, go ahead and do that. And the time that I'm talking about is once you finish kneading it and you're ready to let it rise. One step in the recipe says set it aside once you finish kneading for 15 minutes and then come back and knead it again. I am skipping that on purpose today for time only. But if you have that time on your hands and you want to do that, it is not going to, I actually did it by accident. I skipped that step this week on purpose when I was making the bread, and it actually was just fine. So just keep kneading. But when you're making the recipe for the first time and you want to really follow that part, you go ahead and you do that. Just get all of that flour. Just gather it together into a ball like that. Now, if you have the time, let it rest for 15 minutes and then knead it again if you like. This is just fine. If you want to skip that with me. Now, I'm going to add a little flour. What did I do with that? Okay. And I'm going to scrape clean my wooden spoon. So you can see this. I'm going to push this out of the way. You can handle that as roughly as you want. Don't worry about the bread. Get all of that excess dough. That is so helpful in cleanup is to get that excess dough off before you put it in water. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm just going to throw this stuff away, clean up my bowl, and be right with you. All right, so I'm just going to, I don't know how much oil, I'm just going to put, what would that be, a teaspoon or so? And I'm going to spread it around. And I'm going to put it upside down to get the bottom oiled. And then I'm going to turn it over and just press it down, just like that. So what I'm going to do, just let me wipe my hands off here. And that's all there is to making that bread. So easy. I have to stop reading the messages. I'm going to sit down and talk to you for a minute, okay? But I am going to put saran wrap over this, just across the top. And it doesn't matter if it sticks to it, but it does matter if it sticks to it when we put it in the pans in an hour. So I'm just going to put it. My saran wrap container is attached to under my cupboard, so I'm just going to do that right now and set it on a nice tea towel and make sure the doors don't open and there's no drafts that's going to get to it. Okay, I'll be right back. So just loosely like that. That's according to Dan Angus White from Northeast Mabu. That's the way you You put saran wrap over the top, plastic wrap on the top, and it keeps your bread free from drafts and nice and warm and cozy. So I'm going to put that on a tea towel, let it on my counter, and set my timer for 1 hour. But I'm just coming back to chat with you. I'm going to mix up the seed mixture. Tell you about that in a minute. Okay, I've set my timer for 1 hour, and that's when I'll, so now it is, what time is it now? It's 2:40 here in Nova Scotia. So at 3:40, I'll be coming back on live for the next part. But I'm just going to stay with you right now for another 10 minutes or so. Just want to chat for a few minutes, and the next segment we'll have our music. We'll have our visitors coming. So this original recipe, I don't know where I got it. Anyway, it was probably on the internet. I probably got it. I didn't get it from anybody in the family or anything like that. And I just started trying it because I wanted to make whole grain or, a multigrain bread. So the part that it suggests adding some seeds for under the loaf and on the top of the loaf. I've never done that before, so I'm doing it for the first time with you here. And it's usually just because I didn't have what they were suggesting, So I have all of those things now, and I'm just going to mix that up into a little dish. And so I have poppy seeds, sesame seeds, and what's the other thing? Flax seeds. And 4 teaspoons of each. And when I come back and we're going to pan it, I'm going to sprinkle that mixture of seeds some on at the bottom of every one, but and I'm going to put the loaves of dough sitting in the pan, but I'm not going to sprinkle on the top until it has raised the second time. And we're going to I'm going to have a little dish of warm water. I'll do this with you, but if you have this ready, if you have a little pastry brush, and we're just going to have some warm water and just very gently, because you don't want your bread to fall, just gently brush it with a tiny bit of warm water, and then we're going to sprinkle some of that seed mixture on the top. It's just going to add a little more fiber to your bread, and I'm kind of excited to give it a try, see if I like it as well. But it can't hurt, right? Okay, so I'm going to mix that up. I'm going to put the camera down. Okay, so just have a little bowl here, and poppy seeds. Okay, is it 4 teaspoons each? Yes, 4 teaspoons each. Gosh, that seems like an awful lot, doesn't it? I don't know if I'll use all of this, but, and sesame seeds. Again, you do not have to do this part. It's fine just the way it is. And flax seeds. Okay, I'm just going to mix that up. Like a little stick in the flaxseed. There we go. Okay, that's all ready for when we come back. Okay, I'm just going to sit and talk to you for a minute. I have a couple of things to say. There, how's that? How much boiling water and grains? The recipe is on my website and it's on Facebook too, because I posted it at 22 2 this time. But just for your information, 1 cup of grains and 4 cups of boiling water, and let it sit for 25 minutes. We'll bring it to lukewarm, and by that time you'll have your yeast and everything ready. So anyway, you have the same Cape Breton ring made by my neighbor, Daryl McLeod. He makes beautiful jewelry, just lives down the road. He was our teacher here at Port Hood Consolidated a few moons ago. There. Okay. So, a few things that just wanted to talk to you about. Number 1, how much did you love Teresa last Sunday? I was so moved by the messages, number 1. But number 1, I was moved by Teresa. Loved her anyway. Her and my Aunt Kalina, best buddies. And they would drive anywhere to go to some event that was happening. And you all loved her so much, just like me. And I'm so happy. And I'm going to try to convince her to come back someday, you know. She was a little nervous, but you know what? She was just herself. Just a beautiful person, wasn't she? Oh, I loved it. And just the Gaelic songs and all of that just warms my heart. And we're going to have more of that happening. I mean, I've been trying to think of nice experiences for all of you and for me. And so we're going to be doing more of this. So certainly Teresa is on my agenda again, and if she will be so kind. But I think it's so important that we here, you know, just embrace all the cultures that we have here in Cape Breton and anywhere really. But since I'm here, I want to just make myself even more knowledgeable. So in February, late February, we're going to have Morgan Tony from the Wagmacook First Nations community. And he is an amazing fiddle player. Number 1, he's an amazing fiddle player. Number 2, he's an amazing singer. And he's going to bring his fiddle and his voice, and he's going to come here, and he is going to play the fiddle. You know what? And he is he's going to be taking his mom if she's feeling up for it. She hasn't been well, and I hope that she'll be able to come. And his cousin Karen is going to come and maybe bake along with me a traditional dish that that they maybe have in their Mi'kmaq culture. So I'm so excited about that. So many similarities in our cultures, and the respect for elders and the language. You know, it's so important. And anyway, that's one thing that I am looking so forward to. And then there's another lady maybe in April or May, but I won't talk about that just right now. But she's a lovely lady in her 90s, and I'm praying that she will come on the show. And I have lots of entertainment lined up for you. Just people are so wonderful. Like today, Rodney and Andrea are coming, and I'm so excited. And Rodney, I taught Rodney step dancing way back when he was a young boy, and he lives in Mabu, and I was still, you know how you know somebody when they were really young, and you think of them in that way, and so a respected fiddle player and step dancer. Oh my God, can he dance? And anyway, he was the premier of Nova Scotia too. Like, how wonderful is that? And he's coming and bringing his first cousin Andrea along with him. So he is, of course, the head of the Gaelic College, St. Anne's Gaelic College, where all of the it's going strong. So that's a wonderful thing. So that's today. And next Sunday, I don't know if any of you know Robert Bouchard. He's from Richmond County. Amazing singer, has traveled everywhere. He's a professional musician, and he is coming. He's coming next Sunday, along with Dolores Boudreau, who is also a singer, former teacher here in Port Hood School. She lives in Richmond County. So the list goes on, and next Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday, and so I am making this. Cecil's having some friends in to watch the Super Bowl. I think there's 5 or 6 of them coming. And so next Sunday, I've chosen to make this wonderful fruit pizza that I had one time at Sarah Bell Beaton's in Mabu. Her and Raymond Beaton, great supporters of the culture. And she had that, and I loved it so much, she gave me the recipe at that time. So because there's going to be those guys in, we're going to make that on the show next week. And so we'll have great music and a lovely dessert. It's kind of got like almost like an oat cake or an apple crisp. The crumble part is the base, and then there's a thin layer of a cream cheese filling, and then there's whatever fruit you want to have on there. I will do it similar to what Sarah Bell did. I'll have like bananas and strawberries and blueberries and kiwi and whatever you want, like even the mandarin oranges, the canned mandarin oranges, they're great on it. And then there's like a glaze, a citrus glaze that goes over the top, and it's so yummy. It's so good. And so anyway, that's what we're going to be making next Sunday. So if you're doing anything with your husbands out there and they want to have can't have the crowd in, but you make it on a big cookie sheet. So, and you serve it. It's about 3 inches by 3 inches the serving. So it's a really nice little thing. So we'll be doing that. Anyway, there's some more people that I just want to mention today. I might have told you one time about Finn Moore. Finn Moore is a piper in Scotland. His father famous for, he makes all kinds of bagpipes. The small pipes, the Highland pipes, just, you have to wait a couple of years if you order a set of pipes from these Moors, it just has come down the line there. And so Finn has been just a wonderful soul, young man that came over here, taught at the Gaelic College, teaching piping, and has been a part of our family. I call him my other son. I just love him. 3 of us went over to his wedding a few years ago to the beautiful Sarah Hoy, who was a fiddler. Anyway, they had their first baby on Friday, and I got a text from Finn and Sarah today announcing the birth of their little girl. So if you've not heard of, if you're interested in piping or whatever, and the Moore pipe making family, they are second to none. And anyway, great people. But I just want to give a shout out to Finn and Sarah. They're probably not watching today, but over there in Edinburgh, I am so delighted. I'm gonna claim that as my 13th grandchild, Finn, if you're watching today. So congratulations. And yes, I just hear from so many beautiful people, but one wonderful email, 2 emails, 3 emails I got this week from Carol Ann Boyd Mabin from Colborne, Ontario. Hi, she's supposed to be watching today. Carol Ann Boyd. They used to live in Mabu. They left around 1958, so I would have been 6 at that time, but she sent pictures. Her mom used to teach at Mabu School. Her dad was agricultural rep, is how they ended up in Mabu. But the whole Boyd family, I had always heard of them and where they had lived in Mabu. And Almeida was she sent a black and white photo of all of these the classes, and Almeida was sitting right beside me, and that would be Carol Ann's sister. And so many of them, a couple of them still live around here, but anyway, it was just wonderful to make that connection, and just the joy of remembering things. They lived on Back Street in Mabu. Anybody who's familiar with Mabu, they lived on Back Street in Mabu, and I think amongst 3 houses, she said there were big families. It was like 32 kids amongst 3 houses. Can you just imagine? And that's the way life was then. So anyway, I just wanted to give a big shout out to Carol, and she really made my week, and to make that connection, and thank you for that. So what else was I going to mention there? I think that's about it. So anyway, oh, PEI Newfoundland are doing awesome too. Anyway, if there was anything, I'm just reading the messages. Oh, that's great. I love everybody there. I'm telling you, it's just, this is such a joy, isn't it? Just, we're friends. I'm telling you, before the show started, and it happens all the time, if you've ever wondered this, about 20 to 2, I'm just making sure that I have all the ingredients in my reach. Everything looks okay and kind of tidy and all of that. And, you know, trying to think ahead and, okay, did I do this and did I do that? Did I post the recipe and whatever? And then there's this whole flood of butterflies that comes over me into my belly, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I am here in Port Hood, and what am I doing? And I'm baking, and I had that moment of panic. I really do. I really do, even though sometimes I talk too much, but I really do have that moment of panic, and I'm thinking, oh my God, what am I doing? But then the minute I go in front of the camera and I say hello to you all, it all goes away, because you're my friends and you support me and I love you, and it's just so fun. And people think that I'm crazy. Are you still doing that cooking show? Obviously they're not watching, or they know, yes, I'm still doing the show. But I do. I love it. It's something I look forward to every week, and I love reading the messages, and I love knowing that people are trying and attempting things that they never would have tried otherwise if they didn't have a step-by-step. So I love that. I love that. I love to teach anyway. You know, I loved to teach step dancing, and I feel that I was good at it. You know, and I'm saying that with all humbleness. I just want to make sure that everybody's has the knowledge and knows that, you know what, it's not hard. You can do this, you know? So anyway, I'm not looking for compliments at all. I'm glad you're there, and I'm glad you've given me you know, something to do. Like, it would have been a boring year. It really would have if it hadn't been. And this March, we're going to have an anniversary show. So we're on March the 21st will be our 1-year anniversary. We're thinking about what we can do. And obviously the kids are going to be there for that. And last year it was March 22nd was that first cinnamon roll. So I'm gearing up for that. I have lots of talent that's coming. There's, you know, piper, fiddler. There's lots coming, approaching that date. But I want family to be here, and God willing, the ones in Halifax will be here, and we can do that depending on where we're at with COVID. And I really hope and pray that that can happen. So anyway, that's all I have to say. So I'm just going to see what's left in the timer, and I'll say goodbye, and just let me check the timer. So we have about 40 minutes left. So I'll see you in 40 minutes. I might come on at 35 and just let people load on again. And then we'll pan the bread. Let's have a Kaylee celebration. I want to read this. I know it's going to be great. We'll just have to, I don't know what I'm going to bake on that show. I think I decided, yes, I'm going to make a layered chocolate dessert of the name of that chocolate layered dessert. I'm not going to say the name that is used, and I bet you there's many of you out there that know what it is, but that's what I'm going to make. It's got a nice shortbready bottom with layers of chocolate pudding and cream cheese and lots of goodies there. And so anyway, let's celebrate. So anyway, okay, I'll see you in 40 minutes. Bye-bye.